this lesson, 6.5, we're going to talk about number patterns. Alright, so in our group activity, or we're going to do it as a group, you're going to do it with me as I do it on here, you're going to shade every third table in the square. Reverse that. Shade every third square in the table. Sorry. Alright, so they've done the first two for you. So really you're just going to count 1, 2, 3 and shade it. 1, 2, 3 and shade it. All the way to 60. So 1, 2, 3, shade, 1, 2, 3, shade, 1, 2, 3, shade, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to do that all the way to 60. Okay? And then you're going to write all of the shaded numbers. So you're just going to go then and say, you know, my first shaded number is 3, 6, my next one is 9, 12, 15, and so on, all the way to 60, or as close as you get to 60. What patterns do you notice? Well, if you look, and I've just done the first few, right? I haven't done them all. But if you look, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. These are all multiples of 3. So it's one of the patterns. If you look at it, if I were to keep going with this, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to keep going with it and do all of them. If you notice, my shaded numbers, they're all diagonal to each other, going this way. 3, 12, 21, 6, 15, 24, 33 is probably going to be 1, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep, look at that. So that could be another pattern because it says, what other patterns do you see? They're on diagonal squares to each other. So that might be another pattern that you would list. Then it says to circle every fourth square in the table. So you're going to use that same table, and this time you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so on, and you're going to do that all the way down to 60, or as close as you get to 60. And then you're going to list them. It says write the circled numbers, so then you're going to say 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. And then the pattern that you notice, they are all multiples of 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20, which happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, the next one that you would circle. Great. So that is just very quickly your Explore and Grow on that first page. So we're going to be talking about rules. Now rules, we talked about it at the very beginning of chapter 6. It was one of your vocabulary words. A rule tells how numbers or shapes in a pattern are related. Alright, so our example that is given is use the rule add 3 to create a number pattern. The first number in the pattern is 3. Then describe another rule, or I'm sorry, another feature of the pattern. Okay, so for every number, you're going to add 3 to it. So 3 plus 3 is 6. So then you're going to do the next one. 6 plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? And you're going to do that until you get to their last line. Another feature of the pattern, these are all multiples of 3. Okay? So let's look at our other example. Use the rule multiply by 2 to create a number pattern. The first number in the pattern is 10. Then describe another feature. Okay? Let's see. 10 times 2 is 20. 20 times 2 is 40. And then you're going to do it again, 40 times 2. And write it there. Whatever that is, times 2. Write it there. Then as you go, you will notice that another feature of this pattern is that the end digit, the ones place, they all are 0. So you are going to, in these problems, you're going to use the rule that they give you, and you're going to find the next numbers. So the rule for number 1 is add 5. And they give you the first number is 1. So you would do 1 plus 5. And then whatever that is, 1 plus 5 is 6. So then you do 6 plus 5. And then see if you can find some sort of pattern, something that sticks out, or see if there are multiple of something, or you know, do they all end in 0? Are they all even numbers? Are they all multiples of 5? This one has a pretty cool pattern that I hope will kind of pop out to you as you're going along. So you'll be doing that. You'll be making a pattern and just using the rule. So in here, in these problems, they give you the first number to start with. Now here, these are a little more open-ended. They're a little more just up to you. You're just going to use the rule to start your pattern. So the rule is multiply by 2. So you can start with whatever number you want to. And it says generate a pattern of 4 numbers. So you only have to have 4 numbers in your list. But you can start with whatever number you want. Now I would suggest on ones like subtract or divide that you start with a big enough number that you don't get into fractions or negatives. So if you're subtracting 9, don't start with 9. Because 9 minus 9 is 0, and then where do you go? You go into the negatives. So I mean, start with a big number like 90 or 60, or you know, something that you're not going to get all the way down past 0. Same with dividing by 4. If you start with 4 or 12 and you need 4 numbers, you're not gonna have enough. You're gonna go into the negatives or into fractions. So start with a big enough number that you can get all the way, get 4 numbers. So on some of these, you'll be looking at the pattern and trying to figure out what the rule is. So, do they add? Are they subtracting? Did they multiply? Did they divide? Those are your 4 basic functions for math. Figure out what the rule is and find the missing number. All right, let's look at our modeling in real life. A presidential election is held every 4 years. There was a presidential election in 2016. How many presidential elections will occur between 2017 and 2030? Okay, so the rule is every 4 years. So the rule is to add 4 to each presidential election year. So we're going to start with 2016 because that's when one of them was. That happens to be when the last one was. And then we're going to add 4. Okay, so 2016 plus 4, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's this year, 2020. And then, so we want to know between then and 2030. So we're going to keep going until we get past 2030. So then we're going to add another 4. 2020 plus 4, well 20 plus 4 is 24. So 2024. Then we're going to, sorry this is sideways to you guys. We're going to keep going and we're going to add another 4, 24 plus another 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, 20, 28. We'll keep going because we're not past 30 yet. 28 plus 4, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, so 20, 32. So we want to know up until the year 2030. So we're not actually going to use this last one here. So in between 2017, which would be right after this, and 2030, which would be here, there are 1, 2, 3 years. So there will be 3 presidential elections between 2017 and 2030. All right, so make sure in your word problems you're looking for those key points, those key numbers that tell you what your rule is going to be. The pattern of animals, the number 17 on the Chinese calendar, repeats every 12 years. So your rule is plus 12. The year 2000 was the year of the dragon. How many times will the year of the dragon occur between 2001 and 21,000? Or 2100? The year 2100. So anyway, the rule for that, it says it repeats every 12 years. So that's kind of like the election problem we did in our example. It's going to be plus 12. So you're going to start with 2000, you're going to add 12, and then add 12 and add 12 until you get to 2100 or past 2100, and then see what's in between those two end numbers. Okay, so you're going to be doing that. This is all about number patterns, so make sure you can find your rules, make sure that you are able to identify those patterns, and then see what other kind of stuff is going on in the pattern. What other stuff do you notice? Is it a multiple of something? Do they all end in a certain number? And so on. All right, so that is it for lesson 6.5, and I will see you next time. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Bye.